Okay, so in this question, what you're being asked to do is to change the subject of a formula. So if we have a look here, so what it says is, if x is equal to 3y divided by 2 minus 1, make y the subject of the formula. So let's just write this out. So what it's saying is that x is equal to 3y over 2 minus 1. So what you want to do is you want to make this y here the subject. So you want to bring the y over to this side, and you want to have it'll be equal to y is equal to something. Okay, so that's what you're aiming for. That's what we want. So how do we go about doing that? So in order to do that, we have to manipulate the formula that we have. So the first thing you really want to focus on then is you want to get rid of this fraction here. So we have a fraction here. Now, how do we get rid of a fraction? So a way to think about this is you do the opposite of whatever the operation is. So for example, if we have minus, the opposite of minus is plus. If we have division, the opposite of division is multiplication. So if we think about this here, so this means 3y divided by 2. So we're dealing with division. So the opposite of division then is multiplication. So what we have to do is we have to multiply this term by something in order to get rid of the 2. So what we can do is we can actually multiply this by 2 so that we can divide the 2 into it and then get rid of the fraction. Now, whatever we do to one term in an expression when we're dealing with algebra, when we have an equal sign, we have to do it to all the rest as well in order to keep it balanced. So what we need to do is we need to multiply this whole expression here and multiply it by 2. So what will that look like? It'll be 2 multiplied by x, then it's going to be 2 multiplied by 3y over 2, and then it's going to be minus 2 times 1. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. So what we can do is we can multiply this out then, and I'll just put the equal signs in here. So what we can do then is we can multiply this out. So 2 multiplied by x is going to leave us with 2x. Then here, so by multiplying each term in this expression by 2, that enables us to get rid of this fraction here. So 2 will go into that once, 2 will go into that once. So that's going to be equal to 3y. And it's 3y over 1. We don't need to leave it as a fraction because any number, so if I have a random number 2, I can put that into a fraction. It's just 2 over 1. But we don't need to put the, to specifically imply that the 1 is there. So we can just leave this, so these two divide into each other. So that's 1 multiplied by 3y gives us 3y, and it's over 1. So we can just leave it as 3y. Minus 2 times 1. So minus 2 times 1, so it's minus 2 multiplied by 1. So that's going to be equal to, that's just going to be minus 2. So now what we've done is we have got rid of the fraction. Now the idea is what we're trying to do is we're trying to make y the subject. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get rid of, so we're trying to get y on its own. So what we want to do is we want to try and get rid of the numbers around y, starting with the numbers that are furthest away. So if we look, the furthest away number is this 2, is this minus 2. So again, remember this operation is minus, so we're going to have to do the opposite operation, which is plus. So if this is minus 2, then I'm going to have to add 2 on this side, and what that will do is that will cancel out this 2 and get rid of it from around the y. But if I plus 2 on this side, I have to plus 2 on this side as well. So I have to plus 2 here. So what's going to happen is this will become 2x plus 2 is equal to, and then we have minus, if we have minus 2 and we plus 2, they'll just cancel out. So it's going to be equal to 3y. So we're nearly there. So we just need to get, we need to get rid of the 3 from beside the y here. Now, what does this mean? So this means 3 multiplied by y. So again, we're dealing with multiplication, the operation multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So in order to get rid of this 3 here, we're going to have to divide it by 3. So that will enable us to get rid of the 3 here. If we divide this side by 3, we have to divide this side by 3, like so. So 3 will go in here once, 3 will go in here once, and then y, that will just be y, and I'm just going to write it, so it's going to be y is equal to 2x plus 2 over 3. And what this means is that's equal to 2x over 3 plus 2 over 3. So essentially when you have this means you're dividing this term and this term by 3. So you can write it like this, but this is it. This is, let's say, when it's written out properly, this is the way it will be. So what we've done is we've made y the subject. So in this case, y is equal to 2x over 3 plus 2 over 3. And then if we look at the options we have, it's going to be this one here, option 1. So that's how you work out that question. So basically what that is it's just changing the subject of a formula. And this is very important, like we're using it here in maths, but if you study physics or chemistry, there will be formulas that you use, and what you can do is you can manipulate the formulas when you have certain data, for example, and you can figure out other data by being able to manipulate the formula as well. Okay, so thank you for listening.